7. A good name is better than a fine perfume, and the day of death better than the day of birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the destiny for every man, and the living should take this to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, because a sad face is good for the heart. The heart of the wise is in the house of the mourning, but the heart of fools is the house of the pleasure. It is better to hear the wise man's rebuke than to listen to the songs of fools. Like the crackling of thorns under the pot, so is the laughter of the fools. This too is meaningless. Extortion turns a wise man into a fool, and a bribe corrupts the heart. The end of the matter is better than its beginning, and a petition is better than pride. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fool. Do not say, why were the old days better than this? For it is not wise to ask such questions. Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing, and benefits those who see the sun. Wisdom is a shelter, as money is a shelter, but the advantage of the knowledge is this, that wisdom preserves the life of the possessor. Consider that God has done, who can strengthen that what he has made crooked. When times are good, be happy, but when times are bad, consider God has made the one as well as the other. Therefore, a man cannot discover anything about his future. In this meaningless life of mine, I have seen both of this, a righteous man perishing in his righteousness, and a wicked man living long in his wickedness. Do not be over righteous, or neither be over wise. Why destroy yourself? Do not be over wicked, and do not be a fool. Why die before your time? It is good to grasp of one and not let go of the other. The man who fears God will avoid all extremes. Wisdom makes one wise man more powerful than 10 rulers in a city. There is another righteous man on earth who does what is right and never sins. Do not pay attention to every word people say, or you may hear your servant cursing you. For you know in your heart that many times you yourself have cursed others. All this I tested by wisdom, and I said, I am determined to be wise, but this was beyond me. Whatever wisdom may be, it is far off and most profound. Who can discover it? So I turned my mind to understand, to investigate, and to search out wisdom and the scheme of things, and to understand the stupidity of the wickedness and the madness of folly. I find more bitter than that the man who is a snare, whose heart is a trap, and whose hands are chains. The man who pleases God will escape her, but the sinner she will in a snare. Look, said the teacher, this is what I have discovered, adding one thing to another to discover the scheme of things. While I was still searching, but not finding, I found one upright man among 1,000, but not one upright woman among them all. This only have I found, God made mankind upright, but men have gone in search of many schemes. 8. This is who is like the wise man, who knows the explanation of things, wisdom brightness of man's eyes, and changes his hand appearance. Obey the king's command, I say, because you took an oath before God. Do not be in a hurry to leave the king's presence. Do not stand up for the bad cause, for he will do whatever he pleases. Since the king's word is supreme, who can say to him, what are you doing? Whoever obeys his command will come to no harm, and the wise heart will know the proper time of produce. For there is a proper time and a produce for every matter. Though a man misery weighs heavily upon him. Since no man knows the future, who can tell him what is to come? No man has power over the wind of containing it, so no one has power over the day of his death. As no one is discharged in time of war, so wickedness will not release those who practice it. All this I saw as I applied my mind to everything done under the sun. There is a time when a man lures it over other to the own heart. Then too I saw the wicked bury those who used to come and go from the holy place and receive praise in the city where they did this. This too is meaningless when the sentence for the crime is not quickly carried out. The heart of the people are filled with schemes to do wrong. Although a wicked man commits 100 crimes and still lives a long time, I know that it will go better than God-fearing man, who are relevant before God. Yet because the wicked do not fear God, it will not go well with them, and their days will lengthened like a shadow. There is something else meaningless than occurs on earth: righteous men who get what the wicked deserves, and wicked men who get what the righteous deserves. These two I say the meaningless, so I command the enjoyment of life, because nothing is better for a man under the sun than to eat and drink and to be glad. Then joy will accompany him in his work all the day of the life God has given him under the sun. When I applied my mind to know what wisdom and observe man's labor on earth, his eyes not seeing sleep day or night, then I saw all my God has done. No one can compare to what goes under the sun. Despite all his efforts to search it out, man cannot discover the meaningless. Even if a wise man claims he knows, he cannot really comprehend